Horror as a genre is one that I typically stay far away from, whether it's horror movies, books, or in this case, horror games. I tend not to play them. I've never played a Five Nights at Freddy's game. Thank God. But there has been one pair of indie developers that's caught my attention recently, and I just wanted to discuss some of their games. Some really good, and others really bad. Chiller Arts is a Japanese duo of indie developer brothers. They have an affinity for creating horror games with their analog and compressed art style, paired with their stories that are inspired by Japanese folklore sometimes. Before I talk more in depth about their games though, I wanted to talk about horror as a genre in gaming and how it's developed through the years. Horror games have been around since the late 1980s, early 1990s. They were often very surface level, basic, and not very scary because the graphics were not very advanced or immersive. I mean, how is this meant to scare me? Really? Wow. Don't get me wrong, there were some standout games such as Darkseed. This psychological horror game was created in 1992 and featured a menacing and uneasy atmosphere. It's a point-and-click adventure game that's split into two worlds, one light and the other dark. You can see early themes of body horror and a unique approach to storytelling at the time. In the late 1990s, we also got some other cult classic horror games such as Silent Hill, which was released in 1999, and it was so successful that it got a further 3 games and a spin-off or 2. Silent Hill, in my opinion, was a turning point in which the horror games started to become more immersive and actually scary. This is because they started using first and third person storytelling, which is the scariest way to tell a horror story because the person playing can relate to the character so much more. It's scarier than this shitty bird's eye view camera that puts me to sleep, quite frankly. There are other more recent horror games such as the Amnesia and Outlast series, which are amazing pieces of horror that still stand up today. More recently, we've seen the rise of virtual reality horror games, which are without a doubt the scariest kinds of horror games.
What was happening?
Titles such as Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted, Resident Evil 4 VR, and Phasmophobia are some of the mainstream and modern examples of the best recent horror in my opinion. But that's just me. In 2024 and 2025, we have seen a lot of indie horror games getting traction and media attention. Games such as Still Wakes the Deep, Mouthwashing, and Me-Side are some examples of that. These are some incredible games that have their own special approach to horror and contribute a lot of substance to the genre where AAA studios have been falling flat. Chiller Arts had a somewhat slow start to game development. They published their first game to Steam in February of 2018. Eevee is a first-person psychological horror game. It took about 3 months for them to develop and harbors mixed reviews on Steam, with a total of 52 written reviews at the time of recording. I've played through the game and just wanted to give my thoughts. Whoa, I've had an outfit change. So the best way I can describe Eevee is by comparing it to a tech demo, just without the tech. It's a very, very short game, and yes, I paid for it. It was like £2, but it should have been free. For a first Steam game, it's great. They experimented with storytelling through these brief notes and letters, which I'm not a fan of because I hate reading. I can barely read, but I enjoyed it for the short time that I was playing the game. The performance was awful and the movement was very floaty. The camera would randomly snap to the ceiling and the floor like someone else was controlling it at times, pulling my mouse. Why does my mouse keep doing that? And the puzzle was tough, but that's only because I'm stupid and didn't see the last note. Like, how am I meant to see that? That is so hidden. The game has 2 environments. The first is this amazing outdoors area. They really nailed the atmospheric feel, and the greenery is great. Visually, the game is solid. It's just the actual gameplay and some glitches and performance is not quite there. Did I mention that I paid for this game? But what is the story? I'm glad you asked. We're playing as this kid who crashed his bike in the woods and is looking around for some sort of shelter. We find some makeshift construction area where we find a note of these two people that have gone missing, Henry Moss and Michael Dean. We then find this gravestone with another note which has all of their names scribbled out in red and yeah, I think they died. I don't know though. I'm just putting two and two together here. I'm not some sort of story analyst. Well, I kind of am. Anyway, because it's pissing it down, we run into this random abandoned apartment. It has notes hidden around and a baby crying behind a locked door. Our goal is to unlock this door, which we do by finding and reading notes. These notes and letters tell us that the person living here is named... Actually, we don't know her name, so let's just say Evie. Evie was 12 weeks pregnant when her partner of 5 years left her after constant arguments. Without knowing what to do, Evie received support from her mum after moving back in with her and decided to start teaching piano lessons to support herself before and after childbirth. Anyways, she gives birth to her child Ezra on March 5th. That's my birthday. But before giving birth, Evie's mum passed away due to lung problems. That was a surprise to Evie, who was unaware of the illness. Evie sees a psychiatrist and is diagnosed with depression. We use the red numbers on these letters corresponding to the page number to figure out the code for the 4-digit padlock. This took me a minute to figure out because I'm thicker than XQC's incoherent accent.
No, yeah, I've heard that, but I've seen some of these documentaries. I ain't believe none of that. Hey, the game government ain't no getting no one in the sample, no give my 3D.
I have no idea what the fuck you're saying.
Inside the bathroom, we see lots and lots of sleeping pills, and also presumably Evie's body inside the shower with a note in hand. The screen then cuts to black and rolls the credits before we can read the note. Wait, that's the game? And that's the game. Very short and not very good. Don't worry, they get much better. Oh, I've had another outfit change. I'm gonna stop mentioning this now because I change outfits quite a lot throughout this video. They continued to make games after this one to various degrees of success. They were growing in popularity and quality. Not really by reviews. For the most part, their games would be negative, mostly negative, or sometimes mixed. The first real head turner though was this game, The Convenience Store. This was the first Chiller Arts game that I played. The game starts in your house. Immediately you notice the VHS damage aesthetic, the old school graphics. I love this style choice because it already puts me on edge as it reduces my vision and distorts views from afar. Anyway, onto the actual game. Waking up, we're playing as this young Japanese woman who's preparing for her night shift at the convenience store. That's the name of the game. We get dressed, eat some food, then grab a flashlight and go over to our place of work. Quick side note, I saw on the reviews some people complaining about the length of the walk to and from work, saying that it's easy to get lost and it adds nothing to the game, but I think it's perfect. The devs could have easily just added a black screen transition from the door that takes you straight to work, but instead they have this eerie and unsettling walk over to the place of work. There isn't a single jump scare throughout the game in this area of the map. It only exists to build tension, and it does that perfectly. Arriving at work, I immediately noticed this homeless guy who's just sitting outside of the store. You get some interesting dialogue when you go over to talk with him.
I know what really happened here. I was called to warn you all, by the name I cannot speak of. The day of judgment will come. Yeah! Bring me food, or you will receive eternal punishment.
Well, that was a completely normal and realistic conversation. I too sit outside convenience stores way past my bedtime and ambiguously threaten women. Going inside, we're met by dollar store Markiplier, who tells us about the local gossip.
Oh god, you made it? Oh no, it's just that I recently heard someone had fallen off that bridge you just crossed. There was an old lady who said she saw a man walking down the street with his legs completely bent the other way. Scary stuff. If only it was a true story. Sorry.
Thanks a lot, Markiplier. I loved you in the hit series In Space with Markiplier. Entering the checkout desk, we clock in and begin our shift by checking the to-do list that the manager left us. There are some CCTV cameras that you can check in this back room, showing both interior and exterior views of the store. For the first night, we need to restock the shelves. We ring this guy up who buys a bento box and go about our night. Out back of the store, you can see this destroyed wall panel and some tape that keeps us from exploring behind it. I'm sure that this won't become relevant in this story's plot development. Going back inside, the automatic front door is having some sort of malfunction and is making a really annoying noise. While clearing the shelves, you can pick up some of this moldy bread and go and give it to the homeless guy sitting outside the shop, who walks away somewhat happy. Maybe. The first night ends when a delivery man walks into the store. Kinda late for a delivery man at this time, huh?
We recently incorporated this system exclusively for convenience stores that open up late at night. It looks like this package is directly shipped to the store. Oh, and there's a name that matches your tag. I think this is for you.
Taking the mysterious package home, we open it and find a VHS tape. Watching it gives us this cutscene. We wake up the following night and begin our trek to the convenience store for a second night shift. Arriving at work, we speak with Markiplier once again. We go to the back and clock in. Our first task of the night is to clear some rats out from behind the dumpster. Didn't know I'm also a part-time executioner, but okay. After clearing out the rats, we help this rude man and fetch him some beer. This took a while because you had to do it one by one. I then had a false realization about what it's like to work a night shift in a store. I think I'd quite like to work a night shift at a convenience store like this.
I don't think you would.
It's like AFK Money Farm. The doors then started playing up again. This was slowly driving me crazy. Dude.
Shut up.
What have I been to do? This is so fucking loud, man. I just want to fucking rip the audio things off of the fucking walls. I'm not even fucking around anymore, man. It's just like genuinely annoying, man. Checking the cameras, you can see a small child is triggering the doors before running off. I think it is a guy.
Did you check round the other side of the... Did you check round the other side?
I checked both sides.
Do it again, bro.
Oh, he just ran. After dealing with that, we see that the delivery man has returned again. Good to see you again.
Oh, you know, the unstoppable trend of ordering everything online. Anyway, there seems to be a package that needs to be picked up here.
We give him the package and that's the end of the night. This time we get a knock at the door. We go to open it and just see a package waiting there. I sure hope it's not another creepy video clip. And that's my house. I walk back to work again. It's raining this time, which is so spooky that I talk to myself to distract myself from the tense environment. Hello everybody, my name is Juddington and welcome back to the convenience store. A game that was suggested to me by my Steam library. The other kiosk in here kind of looks like Markiplier.
Yeah?
Yeah. Call me crazy, but this guy... Oh, he's not here. What the fuck? Markiplier, where are you? Oh my! Yes, I got jump scared by Markiplier. I did say I'm not good with horror games. Tonight I started by stacking some shelves. I grabbed the stock from the back rooms and... Oh, the door's locked. Don't jump scare me. I'm big and scary. I spoke to this guy named Hamada who was repairing the air conditioning in the back of the store. I finished stacking the shelves and followed him to the front.
This guy's pathing is a bit odd. Your arm is in the fucking wall, mate.
Hey, are you the only one working here? I can't believe this. What kind of manager puts a girl on a midnight shift all alone? Right, I see. You have no choice. Well, at the very least, I'll give you my protection charm. Now be careful.
Oh, little charm. The woman hands us an omamori, which is a Japanese Buddhist protection charm that brings luck and wards off evil spirits. Unfortunately, this would not help in our future endeavours. After this, I took another look at the CCTV cameras, only to find that the tape previously covering the loose wall panel had been destroyed. Walking over to the back, I pick up the repairman's pipe wrench, making some of my own repairs. We're playing as a very talented woman who knows all the tricks of the trade. Either that or we're just playing as Johnny Sins. Who knows? Continuing into the uncharted area, I found a small door. I couldn't open it though because my arm was numb. Probably from all that repair work earlier, or because it felt as if someone was grabbing me. I don't know though. I heard some typing coming from the office, so I went back there. After finding nothing, I checked the cameras. What? Oh my god! Okay.
Actually got me a little bit.
Yeah. The ghost had left these talismans on the floor, so I picked them up and went back to the door where I exercised it. After exercising the door, it swung open. Inside was my manager, sitting on a chair with his eyes gouged out. What? Manager? Oh my god, it's my manager! The door had locked behind me, and the room gets louder. Oh, I don't like this.
You're so fucked.
Oh my god, he's looking at me.
Hello.
Hello.
Have you got any ibuprofen? I got a headache.
And then we're back in the apartment for another night shift. I guess we just pretend that nothing happened. Once again, there is another creepy tape just waiting for me in my room. This time displaying the door that had my deceased manager inside. We got ready for the night shift of the final night. Upon arriving, we didn't find Markiplier, nor did we have a clock-in card. Something is already off. I checked the cameras, but upon exiting the CCTV, the entire store had changed. Televisions lined the shelves. Upon interacting with them, we had the option to turn them to static. This was a puzzle, quite a difficult one at that. When returning to the cameras, you can see a ghostly child walking up and down the aisles of the store, frequently stopping to look at the TVs. You need to memorize all of the TVs that he looks at, and then exiting the CCTV, you need to go over and turn on the corresponding TV.
Maybe
oh, this one also makes no noise.
They're not supposed to make noise.
Okay. Oh, I think it's this one.
Oh, it's that one.
Okay, let me fail it real quick. Oh, fuck! If you get the sequence wrong, then you have to do it all over again. It sounds simple, but the child walks so slow, and my memory is awful. Upon completing the puzzle, we go to the storeroom, following the cries of the child. Don't jump at me, don't jump at me, don't jump at me. Oh, hello. What the fuck? We then wake up in the storeroom as if nothing happened and walk to the front door where there's a tape just waiting for us on the floor. We take it home once again, but upon inserting it into the VHS player, the game asks us if we're sure that we want to view the video. Upon saying yes, we get this ending cutscene. Oh, it's right next to my house. While I'm sleeping, I'm fucking sleeping.
What's your sleep paralysis demon looks like?
Lola Bunny.
Oh, bro. Mine's Vin Diesel.
I can't move. Oh, it really is sleep paralysis then. Oh! What? That's an ending.
Too.
And yeah, we die in our sleep. Well, not really sleep. I guess it was sleep paralysis. Jesus Christ. A demon just kind of comes up and kills us. I say demon, it's the poltergeist from earlier. There is another ending where we choose not to watch the tape and instead put it in a parcel and send it off to someone else. The screen goes black and we get a text-based ending. Are you fucking kidding? It's a lot of reading and it's a lazy method of storytelling that I personally hate. I'm not going to go out of my way to discuss this ending because I just have a personal gripe with it and I still haven't read all of this text that is flying behind me. And yes, I am that petty. And no, I'm not joking. This game had some really, really great parts. It was Chiller Art's most successful game at the time of publishing in 2020 and I can see why. I was genuinely scared for the majority of my playthrough. I like this game because it's very good at building tension. Other games just have constant jump scare after jump scare, but this game was a slow burner, and I can appreciate that. From the uncanny character design, oh, cat food, you're getting cat food. Why does she look so stupid? To the eerie and uneasy environments, I felt like it was a true horror experience that met my wants and was worthy of the £2.50 that I paid for the experience. I especially loved the difference in lighting throughout the game. The bright and fluorescent convenience store lights that you can see from a distance, contrasted by the dark and gloomy outdoors, makes the store feel like a safe place, when it's actually the least safe building in the game, being haunted by a poltergeist. The NPCs were a little cliche, but all in all harmless to the story, and I love Markiplier, so I'm happy. So, solid game, weak jump scares though. The jump scares weren't great, and the endings kinda sucked. Now that we've talked about the convenience store, let's move on to the next game. Possibly Chiller Art's most popular game, The Closing Shift. The game gained a lot of popularity because of YouTuber Let's Plays. Big names such as Jacksepticeye and even Queso made their videos on the game.
I just crapped on myself.
With this small win, the developer brothers knew that they had to come back with something even better. This is where the aforementioned Closing Shift comes into mention. The game released on the 18th of March 2022. It's another psychological horror game that shares a lot of similarities with the convenience store, and it was an instant hit after release. This is arguably the game that put Chiller Arts on the map, so to speak. Just for reference of popularity, the Closing Shift has... Oh my god, I didn't even finish the research for this. This game starts in our apartment. We're playing as another young Japanese woman who's preparing for her closing shift at the cafe in town. So similar to the other game, we get dressed, walk outside, hop in the car, and arrive at work. I've got to go to work. Once inside, we put away our things and speak with Senpai, our boss. He scolds us for being late and degrades me like the bad boy I am. Anyways, Senpai tells us to start our shift and learn how to make different coffees. The game has these videotapes which teaches you how to do the different parts of the game, and there's also this giant whiteboard which shows all of the different coffees, although it's quite overwhelming at first. Oh wow. So many recipes. After watching the tapes, I stumbled around the kitchen slowly, learning how everything works. I was a very slow learner. Oh wait, that's just a hot cup of coffee. Shit. Where's my milk? I just want to mention again how creepy the character models are in this game. Not only are their faces freakishly uncanny, but the actual characters are purposely animated in a slower frame rate when compared to the rest of the game. This makes their movement choppy and unpredictable. It's unsettling because the lack of frames meant that they could change their direction of movement on a dime, which kept me on edge. Other than that, I found the game quite relaxing at first. Focusing on making the different drinks, listening to the background music, chatting with customers. It just felt like a cafe. It kind of just felt like I was at work. The cafe had a nice atmosphere to it as long as the music was playing and the lights were on. The first night comes to a close when a man walks in wearing a beige trench coat.
Hey, I'm a private investigator. You spotted anything suspicious in the area? There have been numerous reports of people getting harassed. I was wondering if you'd seen anything in the store. Well, call me if anything happens. Try closing the store early if you don't want to get in trouble.
Sweep the floor. After this, it was time to close, and instantly the vibe changes. I just got spooky. I was tasked with sweeping the floor, which was fine because even though there's no music, at least the lights are on. Oh, I really don't like it without the music. It's a little bit eerie. Not going to lie. Oh, the power's gone out. Flipping the breaker back on, I was prepared for a jump scare. My hairs stood on edge each time I opened a door, but there was nothing. Just a carton of spilt milk. Why is there more milk? Hey, who's putting this milk everywhere? Okay, whatever. It's now the 11th of November. We wake up and I eagerly ran out the door and down the steps to my car. When I arrived at work, I put away my things and spoke with Senpai. He was not very happy.
Hey, seriously? You're late again. Did you oversleep?
I'm so sorry.
No, not I'm so sorry. I want you to not be late. This is the second time.
I'm sorry.
A little more enthusiasm would help, don't you think? Why don't you ask your mama to wake you up?
We start the day's work by fetching some pastries for this old man. Upon handing him the goods, he strikes up a conversation with us. I've been living here more than 15 years. He ends by telling us that something doesn't feel right in the restaurant. What's this? Foreshadowing? Sensational. Take my Steam points, developers. After long, this other, much younger customer walks in to harass me.
You're cute. Can I have your number?
Would you like to order anything?
Maybe I could have your heart. I think I'll just go with your recommendation. What's your name? Tell me your name.
Our recommendation would be the limited time only double chocolate chillipuccino.
Oh, I see. What's your phone number? I'm that good looking, aren't I? I think I'd lose some words myself. I'm quite popular around here. Now is your chance. Just contact me, okay?
Just order a drink.
What's with the attitude? You'll regret this. I'm gonna go home.
Shoya storms out of the cafe, and it's time for us to take out the trash before closing.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
While brushing down this table, I found a picture where a boy in a hoodie was sitting. And yeah, that's not creepy at all. With this, the night comes to an end. It's now the 27th of November. The night starts the same as any other, walking outside, down the stairs, and... Whoa! Hello, which way are you going? Jesus, the young ones these days. This was, unironically, the only jump scare that really got me in the entire game. We got into work and talked with Senpai yet again.
Today is your first closing shift. I have a question. Do you get strange customers around at night? Well, sometimes we do. Just brush it off if they come. Focus on your work, there's plenty to do. Actually, I'm afraid I might be being stalked. You want me to believe there's someone interested in the likes of you? I guess I'll come flying in to help if anything ever happens.
Senpai runs away, regarding our problem as nothing more than a hoax for attention. We start the night's work and already there's so much to talk about. We start serving these 3 schoolgirls. Strawberry and cream roll. There we go, look at that, that was fucking quick. After getting them everything they asked for, they walk to the seating area, but we're still able to see and read what they're saying. Just as they sit down, another man walks in and stands to the side, inspecting the store's coffee beans. As this is happening, we listen in on the girls' conversation.
Hey, wasn't that guy on the bus with us today kinda creepy looking?
Yeah, good thing we got off at different places.
While this conversation is happening, we start serving this other customer.
Who knows, he might have done something to harm us.
Yup, but you know what? Didn't he seem like a dangerous person too? You know, the guy outside.
He asks to buy a coffee, but he's short a few yen. Just as he thought of leaving though, this other businessman walks over and offers to pay for his coffee, saying that his father always told him to be a good Samaritan.
I could hear him breathing from miles away. The way he looked gave me the shivers.
Is he still here? What? What if he abducts me? Scary.
The homeless man then asks us if we've seen any ghosts ourselves. We say no, and he says, oh, you'll be fine then. Very cool. The businessman shrugs it off, and we start to make both of their coffees.
Don't worry, no one would want to kidnap you.
What? What's that supposed to mean?
But seriously though, should we tell the police or something?
Well, technically, he didn't do anything. And besides, I don't want to get involved in anything creepy.
You're right.
Shortly after this, everyone leaves the shop and it's time to close up yet again. Feels like I'm about to get jump scared. Right when I clean this last table. I finish wiping the tables and then notice this strange sound coming from the corner of the store. Oh, there's a guy there. I don't think he knew that we were closed. Hey, can I help you? The day we first met, yes, at Chiller's, she smiled at me like a flower. Just thinking about her makes my heart pound. I've never felt this way before. I wonder if she's putting a smile on everyone's face like she does mine. Okay. Right. The night ends and it's now the 5th of December. We get a short cutscene of someone sitting with some food, some milk, and pictures. This is presumably the stalker that we just saw. Waking up for our next night shift, we find yet another note crammed in our door. I know her best, maybe after your mother and father. I'll really be number one in time. She talked to me, she picked up my phone and went out of her way to give it to me. I knew she felt the same way I did. We were in love. Today's our anniversary. Oh, that's the guy I gave the phone back to. This note indicates that our stalker is the same person from the first night who dropped their phone on the floor. If you remember, we gave it back to them and thought nothing of it. Now that is fucking creepy, but to make matters even worse, that bastard stole our catalytic converter, so now our car doesn't work. Oh, that's really not good. So now we have to take the public bus to work with all the non-car owners. The bus journey was going just fine until this guy got on halfway through. He sits down for a while and then just slowly turns around and looks at us. Like, I know this is meant to build tension because it's like, ooh, that could be the guy, that could be the stalker. But like, what the fuck are you looking at, dickhead? You look like Gary King if he had a stroke. Anyway, dickhead turns around and we get to work unscathed. We put our things away, but Senpai is nowhere to be seen. Like, honestly, I ran around the building for a good 3 minutes before I find him. Why is he so fucking hidden?
Ah! God! You scared the shit out of me. Leave me alone when I'm in the bathroom. God damn it. Get back to work.
The shift begins and we have our first drive-through customer. There aren't many drive-through customers in the game. In fact, I think this is the only one in the whole playthrough. After serving this customer, we have a woman walk in wearing all red. She's a big fan of our pastries, and after serving her, she chats to us for a little bit. She again notices that we're working all alone and gives us a protection charm, similar to the last game. We picked up the rosary bracelet and put it in our pocket. I sure hope that this charm will protect us from any paranormal occurrences that may or may not happen within the next 3 minutes. After a little while, this shirtless man walks in and just starts doing a little dance while ordering his drink. We tell him to fuck off and he does so that was nice. Anyway, now it's time to clean the toilets and take out the trash. I've just realized while writing this that in December there's snow everywhere. I didn't know how I just realized this, but it's a nice touch. I put the toilet paper back in its place and take a look out the window. This weird piece of metal debris just sat in front of the cafe. I didn't even hear it fall or anything, so I just went back inside. Oh, hello. The structure now manifests into a countdown timer as an onslaught of shadowy customers order an endless amount of lattes. I don't fully understand the point of this segment, but you just make as many drinks as you can and then that's it. I think the interesting thing about this section is the anticipation that it builds. The droning ambient sound combined with the red filter makes the player dread the final moments of that countdown, fearful for what's going to happen next. Oh god, what happens when that hits 0? Okay. A repetitive sound starts to play, almost like an alarm clock. And oh, this is all a dream, I get it now. It concludes the way that most nightmares do. We wake up from our dream on the 17th of December and see yet another cinematic through the eyes of our stalker. Just like any other day, I run down the stairs, jump in my car and arrive at work. However, this time we don't have to put away our things and talk to Senpai.
So, my suspicions were true. I'm glad you contacted me. Calling the police won't help. All they do is brush things off to lessen their workload. That's why you have people like me. I'll take a look around and see if I can find anything.
The investigator walks out of the cafe to survey the area. I was immediately suspicious of the man. I was genuinely convinced that this was our stalker, manipulating us to contact him by making weird shit happen, but I digress. These two women came in and do what women do best. You know the routine, we get them their drinks, they leave. This next woman was a little different though. She asked us about what was happening on the roof. Something about an antenna up there. We think it's just the investigator looking around, but we decide to check it out for ourselves just in case. She leaves and the music cuts. We're given the objective to use the ladder and check the roof. So I picked up the ladder and walked around the building for a few minutes. Oh yep, I eventually placed the ladder in this very obvious spot and got on top of the building. I then went down a ventilation hatch to find this. The stalker had been living in the cafe for quite a while. We're told to quickly close the store. This means removing all the pastries, counting the money, and then counting the produce. Just as I go to flip the sign, we see him. Our stalker. Fuck you. My first instinct was to run back to my car. That was a bad idea. Oh, no, I did not stab him up. You can hear what sounds like "Bring me your soul" in a distorted voice accompanied with laughter. I don't think it's funny, mate. What you're meant to do is grab the ladder and get on top of the building. From here you can pick up a cinder block. Walking along the roof you can spot the detective left for dead in the snow. Further along we can get above the stalker and drop the brick on his head. The screen then fades to black and you gotta be It's another text-based ending, because of course it is. And you know what? Fuck it. I'll read it to you like a little bedtime story.
I killed a man. As I picked up the brick, the man looked right at me. If I didn't drop it, I thought he would somehow get inside and kill me. The man looked terrifying. I didn't even know him. Why did he... I had no choice. I didn't mean to kill him. I was scared. I ran to the police. I told the police everything that had happened. Then the police took me back to the scene and the man was no longer there. There was no one there. The police took me back home and told me to leave the rest to us and went back to investigate the scene. It's all over. I'm so tired after all that had happened. Now I just want to rest peacefully at home.
We're now back at home again. The TV starts wigging out, so we decide to get our phone so we can call the cable company. The problem is, our phone is nowhere to be seen. Stepping outside, we can see it lying on the ground, so I go to retrieve it. Picking up the phone, I was anticipating a jump scare at any moment. I brought the phone back inside. Oh. Thank God. And he's right there. Oh. Wow, that was creepy. And that is the closing shift. Why is my arm in so much pain? Ugh. That was fucking sick, wasn't it? In all seriousness, the game is great. Parts of it were quite predictable, but that's possibly because I've played other chiller art games before. There is one ending which I didn't cover, so I'll go over it relatively quickly. Essentially, when you're on the roof of the building, you can grab your car keys and run back to your car and then go home. Then once you're home, you can see the killer in the backseat of your car and you get murdered. All of the endings involve murder, so I didn't bother going over that one, it just seemed quite niche. Anyway, I can understand why the game got so popular. I mean, it's perfect for a YouTube Let's Play because of its art style and suspenseful nature. This was Chiller Art's second big game, the other most recent one being Parasocial, which is a game I wanted to discuss, but this video has taken long enough and I'd like to wrap it up. In conclusion, this developer duo started with one of the worst horror experiences I've ever played. Evie was a mess, to put it blatantly, and it wasn't enjoyable at all. Being able to bounce back from that and develop a game that is much better is impressive in itself, but then bypassing that and creating another game that surpasses even that is near unheard of. Chiller Arts have gathered a decent cult following because of their stylistic and immersive horror games that branch into a new subdivide of the genre. And I won't be surprised if they publish an even more viral game come tomorrow, because these guys are fucking talented. Thank you so much for watching if you made it all the way to the end, and a big shout out to all of these lovely people who helped me with the voices for this video, so I wasn't, just talking to myself when I was doing all the voices myself. That would have been way worse. So yeah, thanks to these guys, you're all amazing. So yeah, just have a lovely day. I was tasked with sweeping the floor. I was tasked with Okay. I was tasked with sweeping the floor. I was tasked with sweeping. I can't do it. I was tasked with sweeping the floor. Why is this so hard to say? Do I have a lisp or something?